Imagine training a brand new coworker every single day, only to have them quit at night. That's what working with AI assistants feels like. AI agents work with something called a context window, which is their version of working memory. Once that window fills up, the model doesn't just keep going, it starts compacting, summarizing the work so far and handing that summary off to a fresh agent. The new agent only knows what's in the summary, not the details. And just like in real life, when a coworker hands off only the highlights, things slip through the cracks. On small tasks, this isn't always obvious. But when you're working on larger projects, the problem hits hard. Think about a big code base. There's no way to fit the entire system into an LLM's memory at once. So the model forgets things, connections, cross-system effects, tiny details that actually matter. That's why you'll see errors where System A suddenly breaks System B. Not because the AI is dumb, but because it literally can't remember the links between them. This is where the limitations become painful. The hype says AI will replace developers. Reality says not with this architecture. LLMs can scale to the complexity of entire systems. They're like assistants who can draft, explain, and scaffold, but not own the whole thing. That's why even junior developers aren't replaceable right now. A human mind can hold mental models, navigate edge cases, and keep track of context in a way current LLMs simply can't. Now, none of this means LLMs aren't valuable. They absolutely are. They shine in drafting directions, helping you go from 0 to 1, or letting you learn a code base you've never seen before. They're fantastic at giving you a starting point. But here's the responsibility piece. Every single line of code they generate needs to be fully understood by you, the developer. Because if you don't understand it, those little misunderstandings snowball. Dependencies break, logic drifts, and suddenly you're debugging a mess that's much harder to untangle than if you had written the code yourself. Deploying production code generated entirely by an LLM without a human in the loop? That's reckless. You're not automating, you're gambling with system stability. It's like building a bridge based on notes passed between contractors who never actually met each other. There's also a perception gap between developers and leaders. For developers, the first contact with an LLM feels like a 10x productivity boost. You're learning new tech, scaffolding projects, jumping from nothing to something in record time. It's exhilarating. But over time, reality sets in. Once you're dealing with customization, debugging, and all the weird edge cases that real systems always have, that 10x fades. The AI can remember the system well enough to help at the same speed. For leaders, the story is different. The improvements are real, but they're not exponential. They're linear, they're steady. They're helpful, but they're not the mythical leap some marketing promises would have you believe. And that leads to the bigger truth. We've hit an architectural ceiling. The current design of LLMs is maxed out. Context windows can get a little bigger, summarization can get a little smarter. AI companies will keep framing those incremental changes as breakthroughs. But they're band-aids, not transformations. To break through, we'll need an entirely new way of thinking about AI architecture, one that moves past this cycle of remembering, forgetting, and summarizing. So the real takeaway is this: treat LLMs as powerful assistants, not as replacements. Use them to learn faster, to get unstuck, to accelerate the early stages of your work. But never outsource your understanding. You're still the one who has to own the system. And until AI moves beyond the limitations of context windows, that's not changing. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think we've hit that ceiling, or do you see a path where LLMs can evolve past these limits? Drop your thoughts in the comments and stay tuned for the next video.